talking point is when men have children, there's not as much of, it's easier to find a woman because men don't have a kid as much as the women do. I've heard them say that on in the manosphere or whatever you want to call this. But in reality, things can happen. Something can happen to the mom. Something, an incident like this can happen. And it's like that same woman who was like, okay, I'll sign up for it because you only get it like every other weekend, becomes the full-time mom. And sometimes those women don't want that position. And so nobody ever thinks about that. What happens when the other parent, if something happens to the other parent and now you become the full-time parent?
Okay. I will defend the girlfriend in one instance. She may be the scapegoat of the situation because I have heard and have seen situations where the guy genuinely did not want the responsibility. So he puts it on the women to be like, hey, listen, if this situation happened, we don't want to court, if she come hollering at you or something like that, listen, just say you don't want this, that, and the third, and then we just gonna be on one accord that way. Now, do I agree with AP? To some degree. I think men should lead, but all men ain't great leaders. So depending on how good or how bad a leader he is, we're not gonna make that argument. But I think that I agree with this as far as if you are the man and that is your child, I don't care what this woman say. That's my child.
It shouldn't even be an option, right? Like, why is
It,
this
it,
even an
it
option?
shouldn't be an option, but that's why I said that this girlfriend might actually be a scapegoat, potentially. Highly unlikely, but potentially. And then also I look at it like this. I think AP might have rightly assessed that he might be staying with her. So if her house, her lease, her rules, which is probably why a lot of guys don't stay with women and that they rather women stay with them so that they can have the option and that they have the leverage. So I think that in this particular situation, I think that I don't think she's wrong for saying how she feel. I don't think it was wrong for the baby mama to be like, "Hey, listen, I need a help," and ask for help. And I do think that the man should have the option to deal with his child or not deal with a child. But I still ultimately think, personally, if I was in a situation, I'm taking care of my kid. Even if, I don't feel like it, that's my kid. You know what I'm saying? That's my flesh and blood. There ain't nobody else's flesh and blood. So I think it makes reasonable sense that the father take care of his responsibilities, that he helped cause. And that if you're with a woman and you have a child, and this woman got the nerve to tell you that you can't bring that child up in here, you either A, need to level up and break out, or you just need to make some real lifetime decisions and be like, listen, what's more important, this girlfriend or this child? And I think at this situation, I would choose the child because this child didn't ask to be here. Um, yeah.
Just real quick before Marcus goes, if this dude is using her as a scapegoat, he's an even bigger bitch than I said he was. Like, you can't man up and be like, yo, like for real, I'm staying with this chick and she don't want any kids in the house. No, hey, nah, babe, hey, babe, hey, babe, hey, when my baby mama hit you up, tell us your idea. You bitch. Yeah, I said it. You a
Bravo, sir. Bravo. You know what I'm saying? This is AP is in rare form tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's like Hink 2.0, the AP version.
You didn't reset his Wi-Fi. Reset him. Shoo.
I told you it's the angles. He got angles. He got mics. He probably got a swivel camera sitting around his head with blood and lightning and everything. Like he got Samuel L. Jackson coaching him on the side, and then he got the dude that played Pinky on the other side. You know what I'm saying? He got the best of both worlds up in there. This is
no, bro.
great.
It's funny. No, look, it's funny that you say that. It's funny, real quick. It's funny that you say that because I do got a drone, and I'm gonna figure that motherfucker out too.
I told you. I'm telling you, he got that thing circled around. So he watching the clips. So when this is done, he gonna watch the chopped up clips, right? And then he gonna have his own clips of him watching the chopped up clips, and he gonna put that on YouTube. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So yeah, I gotta agree with everybody who said it was Buddy fault, because there's no way nobody gonna make me leave my kids someplace, be it a bus station, homeless. I'm just not going. Like at gunpoint, I can't go. So yeah, I blame him for that. But what's wrong with us as a people when we just say I don't want kids? Like let that kid be homeless. You know what I'm saying? Like how we get to a point when we don't look at everybody kids like this. Obviously, that's not your child. You knew that dating him, but you still look at that child as an extension of her or a tool of something that causes animosity for you as opposed to a child. That's a child. Like children need to be careful about us, like not discarded and treated like a problem. Like we in a crazy position to
Absolutely.
even
You know
have
what?
to debate that.
I agree, Marcus. This generation, they just throwing kids like they're like it's the worst thing on earth. Like it's so sad and just it's sickening almost the way people look at children in this generation. I can't even explain it. Like we don't even. It's like a disease or something. Like it's a child, you know, and it's like.
It's also crazy because I think about like in like my community where, you know, I was growing up when I was younger, how you were the community, you as a child was everybody's child in a community. In terms of if my mother wasn't there, then I know Miss Jones, she gonna be keeping an eye out. I gotta be careful and not do something in front of her because I know she's gonna tell my mom, you know, stuff like that. Like, or you go to your friend's house and you go in their house and you're like, hey mom, because that's your mother too. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see a lot of that anymore, like at all. I know when I had, you know, my son, that was one of the things I wanted. I wanted our home to be the home that the kids come to, you know. But I, like you said, I totally agree. It's very few, far in between where I meet younger, you know, guys and girls or whatever, with parents where that is how they are, where, yeah, oh, come over. Yeah, bring out, you know, that kind of stuff. Like yeah, I totally agree with you, Marcus.
Go ahead, Inaz.
So, question, because like we've brought up the fact that, you know, he's probably living with her. Is leadership conditional? Like, does he have to be? Does it have to be his place for him to still be leading the household?
Hell yeah.
Depends on who you ask.
I would say, especially if you're not married, I understand there's a level of respect that you're supposed to have just in general when you're in a relationship. But if you're the man of the house and you're not married, and that's not your house technically, then how can you be the man of somebody else's house when you don't have anything? I'm just asking. I'm talking out loud. I'm just trying to ponder and think about that. I'm thinking about it out loud.
Because
set me up again. Look, don't move in with no woman. Dudes, do not move in with a woman. It needs to be your house. And if your name ain't on the house, it is not your house. She will remind you it's not your house.
Yes.
You don't call shots. She calls the shots. Because guess what? When she say, hey, you got to get out, guess what she going to do? She going to call Johnny Law to get your ass out if you don't want to leave. She can move into your house. You don't move in no chick house. What are we talking about? So should you be the leader? Should you still be the leader, to answer Inaz's question? Yes. She ain't going to let you. She going to tell you, no, you can't bring your kid to my house. If you want to see your kid every other weekend, take them to the park down the road because this is my house. Run your house, gentlemen. Run your own house.